Hello, hello. Here we go again. Okay, we're gonna start off with tricep flutters. So we'll grab some weights. These can actually be done without weights, but I will demonstrate with a 5-pound. What we're gonna do, the first set that we're gonna have here is we're gonna take the dumbbells and have them right next to our thighs. Lean over just slightly here, and we're gonna come straight up. So it's a small movement. If you're not using any weights, these are gonna look more like pulses. So you'll go quicker without any weight. So if you're using weights, it's gonna be relatively slow tempo. No weights, you're gonna go a little bit faster with these. So we're just lifting up, straight up and back. And we want this movement to be relatively small. So we're not coming way, way up, and we're not letting the weights come any further past our thighs. So we're lifting up, using the tricep muscles. And just lift up here. These are really going to target the back of your arms. It's a very hard to target place, and you will really feel these. And again, if you're not using any weights, I'll demonstrate for that to you as well. So if you're here and you're not using any weights, you should be pulsing up. And as you're pulsing, you need to keep a contraction on your tricep. So you're not just flopping here. You're contracting and you're moving up. So anytime really that you're not using weight, you want to make sure that you are contracting the muscle that you're intending to strengthen here. So this is about what they look like without any weight. You're contracting that tricep and you're lifting the arms. Three, two, one there. Okay, we're going to go into leaning forward lunges. I'm going to start on the right. So we come into our lunge, and it's a static lunge. So we come down and we stabilize first. We're going to lean the body forward into that forward leg. The only movement that you're going to have is in this forward leg. So if you're using weights, they're going to be on either side of the knee, and we just straighten the leg and then bend. Straighten and then bend. Because we're holding it statically, it's going to be a small movement. The back leg remains straight. The front leg is moving. You want to squeeze from your glutes. You'll feel this in the glute and the quad here. We're leaning forward slightly and bending and straightening that front leg. Try to pick a point on the ground that you can stare at to keep your balance. Bending and straightening that front leg. Five, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. So we'll come up. We're going to go back to the tricep flutters, but these we're going to do a little bit differently. So instead of coming straight up, we're going to turn our palms in and we're going to push together. So I'm going to show you this from the back. This is what they look like. We're bringing the palms together. And in these, we're using our back muscle. It's going to target the triceps and now the back on these. So we're trying to bring the palms together here. Come back to the side. So again, it's a small movement. And if you're not using any weight, you're going to be going a little bit faster. So I'll demonstrate without weight. So again, you want to hold that contraction in the tricep and in the back, and you're bringing the palms together. So if you're holding something lighter, let's say if you have some canned soup or the water bottles that I keep talking about, you're just going to bring them together, and you'll go a little bit faster here than you would if you had weights in your hands, but you're still contracting those muscles. Even without weights, you are going to feel these. Again, you're leaning forward just a little bit, neutral spine, bend in the knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're really going to feel those in the backs of the arms, and these especially in the back. So we'll go back to the leaning forward lunges. This time I'm coming down on the right, or the left, I'm sorry. So we're going to hold a static lunge here. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight. We're going to gently straighten the leg and then bend. You may have to readjust yourself a couple of times to really get some stability. The knee is over the ankle. It's a small movement. Be very careful not to lock the knee when you come to straight. You want a pretty good contraction throughout the entire movement on that front leg. So you don't want to lock out the knee. These can be done with or without weights. We're leaning into that front leg, and we're coming back. You don't have to go very deep in these, because again, you don't want that knee to come over the ankle. You want to stay stable between the two legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more here. Finish the movement and then come up. So for the next one, we have a kettlebell swing or dumbbell swing. You see these a lot, and the proper form is to have it be in between about a squat and a deadlift. And you never want to raise your arms above shoulder level. So when you're down here and you have your dumbbell, you want to be in a squat form. So you're about halfway down, and then first you just start to swing. Let your body get into the swing, and then when you feel comfortable, you're going to come up, and your hands only go at shoulder level. And then you'll gently start to swing, and then as your body gets used to this movement, you can speed up. And you don't want to come all the way down into a squat, because you're really trying to work the glutes here. And with the motion between the upper and the lower body, again, your heart rate's going to speed up pretty quickly here. You can do this with a kettlebell or a small dumbbell like I have, or again, even a water bottle or a large can of soup. But you're not coming down into a deep squat. As you come up, you want to squeeze the glutes together. And your heart rate's going to start speeding up here. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. So that's the upper and the lower body combo to get your heart rate up for the cardio. Then we're going to come into 3 to 5 minutes of cardio. So I'm just going to start off in a little jog. And again, you can do circles, run around the table. If you have a clock somewhere in your house, you can leave the phone and then go run off and then come back. Anything that's going to get your heart rate up for 3 to 5 minutes in this section is what we're looking for. And again, we want your heart rate at about a level 7 on a scale from 1 to 10. If you're here and your heart rate is not at a level 7, you're going to intensify the movements. So if you're jogging like I am, or if you're marching in place and your heart rate is not up, then you obviously need to create more movement to get your heart rate up. So if that means involving your arms, if that means leaving this spot and going up and down the hallway, whatever it is that you need to do to get your heart rate really, really high, because this is a high intensity workout. The reason why it burns so many calories is because we're going from strength, cardio, and then bringing it down with our core work. But you got to get your heart rate up during this cardio section in order to get that efficiency out of the workout. So I'm just creating movement in this small little spot. If I was not filming this video, I'd probably be going up and down my hallway here. I'd go outside, run around the block real quick. And if you want to do that, just hit pause, go run, come back, and join me for core. Okay, so we're here. We'll switch into a high knee. And obviously this will work a little bit of your core, but really this is about creating a lot of movement to maintain that heart rate. When I do this with my clients in the gym, you see people following my movements, or they're off doing their own movements. Some have their arms in the air. It's really more of a freestyle cardio section. Because they know that their goal is just to get their heart rate up in this part of the program. And they have only a small space to move around. So they're in about an area about where I'm at, and they have to create a lot of movement to get that heart rate up. Okay, we'll go back into that jog. In the studio, we also have fans all over us, so makes it a little bit easier to do cardio. And we have music. That's why I always recommend, if you have any Bluetooth headphones, plug me in your ear and then have music going in the background. I do have weekly playlists that y'all can grab off of Spotify. Helps tremendously. Okay, we'll go back into those high knees. So again, we're just here for 3 to 5 minutes. And however you can to intensify these moves, as long as your heart rate's at a level 7, if you're a beginner and these moves are what you're doing, that's great. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you're sitting on the couch watching TV, 10 is all out, full effort, can't catch your breath. You want to be at a 7. We're not here for very much longer. You can add a skip into these if you want. Maybe instead of these, if you're doing jumping jacks, that's fine too. Five, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Take a breath, grab some water. We're going to go into some standing core work with weighted obliques. So we need 1 dumbbell or just, again, something heavy. And we're standing pretty narrow, and we're just going to come over to the right, feel the stretch here, and then contract as you come up. The key to the standing abs is contracting the core. So I always say you're either going to have a movement that creates a contraction, like a bicep curl, or you have a contraction in a muscle and then you're creating a movement. So when you're doing standing core work, you want to create that contraction and then have a movement. That's what's going to work those muscles here. You can follow a track down your thigh if that helps, and then bring yourself back up. You want your shoulders as level as possible. You don't want to be doing this. You want to keep them level. Bring it up. We'll go 3, 2, and last one here. And we just switch sides. And again, we're going to stabilize and contract in the core and then move. As you come back up to the center, that's when you want to reset the body and contract in. So you're utilizing that pelvic tilt forward, you're contracting the belly button to the spine, you're leaning over to feel the stretch here, and then using that crunch to bring you up. Just like in a deadlift, we're using our pelvis, our hip, our glutes to bring us up, not the back. Here, we're using the obliques to bring us up, not the shoulders, not the back. So when you come down over here, you're going to feel that pull and then use that contraction to bring you up. Just like if you were laying on the floor and you're doing oblique work, you're using this side of your body to bring you back up, not the momentum from your shoulders. So you lean, contract up, lean, and then contract up. Utilizing those obliques. If we're doing exercises, our main point of concern is the muscle that we're working. So we need to take our mind and put it into that muscle and make it contract. Because if we're just sitting here doing this, we're not going to get anything out of it. But if we're here and we think about moving those obliques to bring us back up, that's what's going to get the muscle in there. 3, 2, and last one here. Okay, so we're going to come down for a little bit of concentrated core work. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring the left leg over the right leg here. And hands behind the head for support. Get comfortable here. Pin your lower back into the ground. And then from here, we're going to lift the upper and the lower body together, and we'll just lift. Hold for about a count of 3, and then release. So we lift, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Lift, 3, 2, 1, release. Upper and lower body together, create the hold at the top, and then come down. Concentrate on the core, and then come down. Push the belly button to the spine, come up, hold, and then release. Come up and hold, and then release. Three, 2, and last one here. Come up and hold. Finish the movement out. Switch legs. Reset your body. Anchor yourself well. Make sure that you're going to be able to contract your core. And then we're going to come up and then come down. Come up and hold, and then down we go. Come up and hold, and then come back down. Up and hold, come back down. You want to keep your core movement slow, almost static. But we have a constant contraction on the core, and then we create the movement. 3, 2, and last one here. Come on down, release. And that concludes another circuit. So again, if this is your first one, last one, or somewhere sandwiched in between, I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll be filming another circuit soon. Thanks.